Hello. So, hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the Business Plug. Welcome to the Business Plugs Mixer. We're here every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So, hello, Facebook. Hello, LinkedIn. Hello, YouTube. So, I was trying to think of the third channel. Hello, YouTube. Thank you for joining. If you're watching this in the replay, put hashtag replay. If you have questions after we end, you can still put your comments and your questions there, and we'll get back to you. My name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the Business Plug, and I'm talking about today. We have a special guest, but before we get to her, I need to tell you in the chat, in the description, I am hosting a class on Tuesday on how to start and run a real business. Like I see a lot of people starting businesses out here. They even named it the great resignation, where people who are smart are doing what they have passions to do. And so they've quit their jobs and they're starting their own businesses, and they're out here in the world and they are just doing business, right? Which sounds really, really good. However, if they don't get a strong infrastructure to support their success, the statistics say, long before they got here, the statistics say within 18 to 36 months, they're going to start closing. And so I want to get in front of that by teaching you how to operate and how to start and operate a real business. In fact, I have a class coming Tuesday night. The link is in description. But also long term, I have a 90-day course that teaches you, goes deep dives into everything that a new business owner needs to know starting out the gate. Like it has a checklist, it has things to tell you to go do, people to go see. It shows you where all the free things are first, and then you can get to the paid things. But it just works the whole thing. And one of my newest clients did a 360 assessment, and then she had a ribbon cutting. She is at Black Wall Street in Lithonia, Georgia. And so shout out to T. Amour in Lithonia at the Black Wall Street. Shout out to you. Your ribbon cutting in Connors, Georgia was magnificent. And so that's what we're doing. We're trying to help people start businesses right. And with all that advertisement said and done, I am actually filming from Success Complex. If you know Stan the Man, then you know the Success brand, which is God First, Success Follows. I have his wares behind me. So those of you who know Stan, successproductline.com is his website. You can go there and get products with the Success brand on it. God First, Success Follows. Now, whoo, that was a lot. So I gave you all the commercial stuff. So now let's talk about my guest. My guest is Sharon Ringier, who is the founder for I'm Possible.
Yes.
I'm Possible, which is a wonderful brand because it takes that word impossible and it makes it possible. So, Sharon, hey, honey.
Hey, how are you? How are you?
All is well, all is well. So, tell them about Sharon Ringier.
So about Sharon Ringer, that's a really wide-faceted one. But I'll talk more about Sharon Ringer with I'm Possible. So the reason why I'm Possible even got started was because I had a lot of endeavors going on, and I was a wedding planner first. So I did wedding corporate and social, and decided that I wanted to do like a course, like a conference, right? And decided to use masterminds to promote it.
Okay.
And when I did that, it was like once the conference came and last day, everyone's like, well, when's the next mastermind? And I didn't realize I had created a business that it was really, really needed, especially for women. So it's really I'm Possible Women's Empowerment Collaborative.
I love
So
it.
I love I want to change the trajectory of how women do business, because we feel like we have to be, people think that we're catty, we're backstabby, and it's so far from the truth. What it is, and there's nothing wrong, because I don't believe in male bashing. There's nothing wrong with men. However, the way that we're wired and the way that men are wired are two totally different things. And if you read
I
the book
agree.
Think and Grow Rich by for women, Sharon Lecter did a rewrite on it. It talks about that and how we think about money. Like men, hey, they when it comes to money, they can do deals on the golf course. Whereas women mess with Mama Bear, and she will quit a six-figure job like that. Okay, just period, just done. We think differently. So I really wanted to find a way to be able to help women walk in their authenticity. I know that's a word that people tend to, oh, everybody's really using that a lot, and they are, but it's like, how do we use it where it's what it truly means?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean, I'm really driven by, is how do we find ways to, I don't want to do business like a man.
Yeah.
You know, I was at a BNI one day, and this guy was like, women are always trying to compete with men, as he leaned back in his chair. And I was just like, wow, in the middle of my presentation. And I'm like, well, with all due respect, I have no desire to compete with men because I birthed them. So at the end of the day, let's not get it side-eyed or crooked. I want to work with. I want to work side by side. I
All
want to
right.
be recognized as well. And I understand that there's different dynamics that fall into that. But if we can't change what's going on, like you brought up the great resignation, if we can't change what's going on in the workplace, why not, instead of complain about it, walk in our greatness and create it?
I love it. I love it.
Create
I
the
love it.
change, not be the change, create the change.
Absolutely. I always say that about, people say, well, they don't invite us to the table. And I am all about let's build a table and invite who we need to be there.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't want
So
to be invited to your table. I want to create my table.
absolutely. Absolutely. If there's no room for me at your table,
Exactly.
that's fine. That is fine. I found somebody that I wanted to work with. And, the conversation was going good at first, and then it just went cold, right? So, we were at dinner last night and I saw that person and I was like, we're good.
Right.
We're
It's not
good.
personal. Exactly.
No, it's not. It's really not personal
Exactly.
in that we can be in the same space and it not be a conflict. The line with code, the line with code. So I moved on to bigger and better things. I'm not going to be stuck behind somebody's no. No just
Exactly.
means not with you.
Exactly. So and that's the thing. I want to change the trajectory of how we're doing this, right? So that way we understand just what you said. No doesn't mean no. And sometimes it's just not right now.
Yeah.
But how do we not, walk in that emotional side, and yet still, if we look at how men do business, all of a sudden then we become really brash.
Right,
And it's
right,
like, we don't
right.
have to be that way either. We can be who we are without having to be mean or aggressive or whatever whatever is going on. It's like, just create your space, create your table. So
There's
that's
power in our femininity.
right. So that's
And so
where
that's
I come from. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So why not embrace that? And then
Mhm.
why not use that power that we have
Right.
in being who we are? I mean, I somebody said I can be just like a man. I'm like, I don't want to be a
I
man.
don't want to be a man. With all due
It's too
respect, I
much
don't want
fun
to be
being
a
a woman.
man. I'll never forget going to a retreat, and they were talking. It was a like a marriage retreat that my husband was a Christian one that my husband and I were going to, and it was hilarious because they were saying that yes, the man is the head of the house. Okay, he is the head. We are the neck. We're the support. He can't do anything without that neck. And I'm like, okay, so here's the thing, ladies. You say I'm not standing behind a man. You maybe need to, because they do fall, and somebody's got to catch them, because we are, I'm sorry, the supreme being. I'm just saying.
He made us like he made us, right?
So, and I mean, I'm joking around with it and making light of it, but it's like we tend to devalue who we are
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
shrink, and it's not necessary in order to do business. So that was one of the things that I found, that when I went from being an event planner, what is it that I could do to really like walk in that place of where was God leading me?
Mm,
And that was where I felt he really kind of wanted me to go, because that's something I've always done, and that's, be an encourager. I do believe in the true meaning of empowerment. I know
mm.
that's another word that's used quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when I say empower, I mean, it's not like rah rah shush kumbah. It's like, what can I do to help you understand that you have everything you need inside of you? You don't need anyone else to be your mental sustainability. You are your own mental sustainability.
Do you think that some of that comes from living in a misogynistic environment where
Sometimes, yeah.
being feminine or being a woman, you are led to believe that you're secondary or that you don't count? And so you go through life shrinking who you were made to be. Like you have to be quiet and you must be soft and you must be this and you must be that. The idea of a woman, I had a friend who said, my husband told me women always wear heels. And she had the worst knees. And she was like, my husband says, women always wear heels. So she was never caught in flats.
Mm-mm,
Ever. She was like, he was saying real ladies don't wear flats.
mm-mm.
And I'm like, girl, your knees are about to die.
And that goes to that limiting belief. Someone else's projection of you
Somebody
what
else's projection.
is not your business.
Absolutely. And so um, I didn't try that, she has to go home to him. that's that's not my problem. My thing is I have to walk and being, you talked about authenticity.
Mhm.
Like someone who loves you would not want to put you in pain
Right.
every day of your life for an outward appearance.
So the bigger thing for that though is it's not, and what you're saying is totally right, but I take it one step further. It doesn't matter about their love. It's what's going on right here, because you have to love you first, and that's how they learn how to love you back. If
Sometimes you have
you
to teach
can't,
people.
if
Yeah.
you can't, if you're not loving yourself, you can't very well expect someone to love you any
Mm.
differently. So we, when we, it was funny. I was talking to someone the other day for her birthday, and I'm like, "What are you doing for your birthday?" And she's like, "Oh, probably nothing." I'm like, "Girl, you need to celebrate, vacation, staycation, whatever." I go, at the end of the day, if there was someone else's birthday, you would celebrate them, right? And she's like,
Absolutely.
you're right. I go, then you need to celebrate you yourself, because who better to celebrate with than yourself? And Jay Shetty said it best. I heard him say this the other day. He's like, when you see people and it's like you're talking about how people are treated, treat yourself that way first.
Absolutely.
Show
And there's
yourself
nothing,
that gratitude.
even, getting biblical, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
Bible tells us we are to love our neighbors as ourselves. It doesn't
Exactly.
say instead of yourself. It doesn't
Exactly.
say, and a lot of
And
people have been misinformed to think, oh, well, that's self-centered or
mm-mm,
that's selfish or that's some self whatever. But the Bible even says you're to love your neighbor as you love yourself. So if you don't love yourself, that's why you have a problem loving your neighbor, because you
mm-hmm,
don't love yourself. I mean,
exactly.
so understanding that and understanding that you deserve to be loved, understanding
Mm-hmm.
that you are all of us come into the world with our own greatness, right? The
It's my
things,
birthright.
yeah, your birthright is to be great.
Mm-hmm.
But then life and circumstances and things happen to
Oh, of
dampen or
course.
dim that light.
Right.
So yes. So just understanding that who you are and
Mm-hmm.
what your greatness. I love that you're empowering
Mm-hmm.
women to understand their light.
Right, right. I'll never forget the when I launched the conference, I had an open house and my husband came, and there's a little joke behind that as well, because he got his hair cut the same day. That was not good. Because I teased him and called him Hans. So I told everyone, when I would say, well, my husband didn't make it, so but my boyfriend Hans is here, and everyone was like, whoa, and then like, just kidding. So and I looked at him and I go, here's the thing, I want to apologize to you publicly, because at the end of the day, I had expectations of wanting his undying support, and when you don't get it, that's ugly, right? That's that's
Yeah.
that's not cool. Um, but God didn't lay it on his heart.
Uh,
He laid it on mine. So I've got to walk that. So his limiting beliefs had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with, one, if he wants to be like, and I'm not saying ordinary in a bad way, but not everyone is cut out for this entrepreneurial cloth. That
it's
is not
it's a
their jam.
it's a faith walk, and I have been present. So Steve Harvey, I was a part of his entourage for 2015 to 16, and some of 17, I guess. But I remember going to one of the conferences and this lady was there because he would let people walk up to the mic and ask him questions. And so she loved children. She loved working with foster kids and helping kids find their way. And that was her thing. Like that was her package, her thing to deliver to the world. And she was like, how can I get my husband involved in this? And he was like, why?
It's
He's
not
like,
his job.
leave him alone.
It's not his job. It's not his job.
It's
And we
not.
tend
And
to
he was
do
like,
that too.
you
Yeah.
women, y'all go and y'all
Right.
get the message. God give y'all something
Right.
to do.
Right.
And then you want your husband to be just as enthused and just as supportive and just this and that about it. And he was like, go find some more ladies that want that same mission and work with them together, collaborate with them. Leave your
Right.
husband alone. He
Right.
told her she was making her husband's life miserable. She said, you're making him
Right.
miserable because she was like, I've been doing this for 10 years and I work with these kids and and he was like, why are you doing to your husband like that? Leave him alone.
But
And
we
she
do that to
kind of
everyone, right? We do
tail
it
her
to
back to
everyone.
me.
We do it to our family, our friends, and we
We
expect that.
do.
We expect them to understand, not realizing that we have to walk this path because this is where the lesson is going to be learned, right?
Yeah.
And that's when those that don't understand, because again, I said it, certain things aren't our business, even their limiting beliefs aren't our business. And it's not that they don't believe in us. They don't see themselves doing it. So how can you possibly do it? So it's not even like it's a dig. It's just they can't fathom, what that, impossible to impossible is.
Right.
And that's not a
Exactly.
bad thing. It's just that's how they're wired. That's how they think. So it's like, how can you learn to do this for yourself?
Right.
And that's where I feel like we falter the most as individuals, let alone females, because females are nurturers. We tend to do this thing where we want to take care of everybody, right? But we don't understand that we can't take care of anybody until we take care of us and take care of this first.
Absolutely.
And that's what, again,
and that's the big thing.
Yeah, and that's the premise behind what I'm Possible is all about, is how do I help women understand their own greatness and be able to take, gain clarity with where they need it, and leverage, everyone else that's part of the group to be able to help them grow.
Absolutely.
Without having, like Steve Harvey said, go find your tribe.
Yeah, go find your tribe.
Because your man ain't it. Just saying.
No.
And he's not supposed to be it.
And what I tell new business owners, because I get from new business owners too, who say, well, my husband won't support me, or my kids don't support me, or my circle doesn't support me. And I'm like, God gave that vision to you.
Yep.
I've had husbands to say it. I've had wives to say it. I'm like, that person, your spouse, they already have a role in your life, being the best spouse they can. So they may not get the memo about this business idea that you have.
Exactly.
And then sometimes the people who are closest to us, they know enough information about us not to really trust that what we're thinking is going to work, because they've seen us fall. And, they know the ups and downs of our lives.
Right.
So for them, we have to show them, right?
Right, because they want to protect. They immediately want to go into protect mode. It's not even about they don't believe in us. They're trying to protect us from that fall.
Because they've seen us fall.
Yes.
And they know how devastated we were when it didn't work out. And so they're like, we've been on this road before. So what can we do to take this road a different way? But if you are the one with the memo, if that you're the person that was chosen to walk this journey, then you have to show them. And you show them by finding other like-minded people, right? Like-minded and success-minded people who are heading in the same direction that you want to go.
Exactly.
And so coming up to the Women's Empowerment Camp, let's talk about that. The retreat you have coming up.
Oh, the retreat. Oh my God, I'm so excited. We haven't formally announced it, but please be on the lookout because it is coming, and it's going to be very intimate, because I feel like we learn best in a community. I've been doing the mastermind. So I'm Possible, we have masterminds first. So that's like the model of the business. It started with doing these masterminds, and we've since grown, and now we do networking, and we're actually starting the 16th is the launch of a chapter in Atlanta. That's going to be virtual as well, but that one is going to actually be where both men and women, and it's a kingdom based or faith based chamber that it's going to be part of.
Okay.
So that's coming actually in a couple weeks, and then we'll be doing those starting in July. So with all of the things going on, it's like I took what I learned from doing these masterminds and seeing how much growth came from that, and how the women were doing, and as you learn, who's really in it to win it, and then who's not. You're learning the dynamics of people, and how to massage the language and to get the right tribe in there. And I feel like now we're probably at that space, and because we started with the conference, and the conference was just a one-time thing.
Okay.
And it was great, but I was just like, oh, hey, Jesus, take the wheel. This thing was more than a notion. So I don't want to do a conference, but the retreat, I feel like it's giving me the best of both worlds. So it's still allowing me to plan a little, but the intimacy is going to be where I feel the growth is going to come for these women. And where they're going to get clarity, and they're still going to have their community. And we're going to be in the house together, as opposed to, every time I go to a conference, it's very sterile.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, let's be realistic. Female entrepreneurs are creatives.
Yes.
Whether they're, some are a little bit more masculine than others, but we're still, when you go the spectrum of, fluff and want to make, crystal things, all the way to, hey, I want to run your money.
Yeah.
It's like they all are creative beings.
Yes.
So, and they all have that one thing in common of, one, need clarity, two, need community, connection, and just how to kind of take care of themselves, because we're on our hustle all the time. So day one is going to be all about mind, body, and soul, similar to what I did for my conference. And that's where we're going to have someone coming in. We're going to be talking about, how to break those roadblocks. And, there's different sciences behind it. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce the words that I was told from the one speaker I have. I'm like, okay, whatever you say, because I can't even say it.
I love it.
I think it's kinesiology or something like that. But all of that going on, and then we're going to be doing a little bit of yoga and some meditation, and we are going to be doing some visioning and vision boarding and all of that. But even before you get to the vision boarding, we're going to be talking about how, before you can talk about your vision, you have to know who you are.
Yeah.
So that whole day is going to be, again, mind, body, and soul, like everything that embodies this flesh right here. That's what we need to dig into and get it out, and let's break some blockages and the bondages that's on us, so that we can move on clearly. And then we'll start the second day, day 2, which is going to be business mastery and money masteries all in one day. Mastery. We're going to start with a hot air balloon, so that way we can see the big picture. And people don't understand. Think about, when you have an ant and you have tapestry in front of it, all it sees is what's in front of it, because it's in it. How do I right? How do I get that piece of little peanut or potato chip that I got, and I got to get across this thing? I don't even know what it looks like. And that's how we function as individuals. We just want to know, how do we get to point B? But if we can step back, and now we imagine as an adult, we're standing over that tapestry, and we see the grandeur and the beauty of the tapestry. Different. That's just a different element. And I want to help women to actually dig deep and see that as they're ready to progress onto the business side of things. And we have and now I can announce that we have Nikita to us I can't even talk today. A reality TV celebrity that's going to be coming in, because she's a PR beast. Right? This girl is a beast when it comes to PR. And she's going to be one of our keynotes, and she's going to come and talk to us about being, like the influence of, being an influencer and getting in front of the, getting publicity for our businesses and things like that. So I'm really excited about that. And then we're going to have a little mini gala. And then the next day is going to be some other fun things. So it'll be here in Tampa, October 24th through the 27th. It's going to We're bringing masseuse in. So we're going to have, it's not going to be, because someone was telling me, oh yeah, we got to do our facials and sit in our pajamas. And I'm like, no, honey, I want to show you. And you bring up Steve Harvey. What did he say? Fly first class one time, and that'll change everything for you.
I know it.
I'm like, look, I'm not saying we're going to sit here and go do a chair massage. I'm bringing in a masseuse, 3 of them.
Okay.
Take care of the women that's in the house. So there'll be a VIP ticket. I'm staying at the house. We have a chef coming in, as well as, those that want to attend, but they want to stay at the hotel, they can, or there's but it's going to be there's so much going into it to just make it very experiential.
Uh-huh.
so that they can learn and see how to. I want them to walk away knowing that, one, again, they're possible, but two, knowing that how they do their business, this is what they deserve.
Yes, yes. And that is going to be worth it. So many lives will be changed by that
I'm praying on
experience.
it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So many lives are going to be changed. And I mean, the women that meet up with you should look for a breakthrough, an
Yes.
experience like they've never received before, because that sounds very energizing. And I have your contact information in the description of this video so they can reach out to you personally and actually get more information. I
Right. Yeah.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for your yes. I thank you for coming on the Business Plugs Mixer, uh, teaching people about empowerment, teaching the women and men, because I have both followers. I have about 75% women and the other 25% are men. And they follow to learn, because this is
Right.
business conversations for business people. And so thank you for your yes, for
Oh,
seeing you'll come on and
yeah.
and talk to us about authenticity and empowerment, and how we all deserve to
Yes.
be our truest selves, especially to ourselves.
Exactly. Especially in the climate of the world that we're in today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's how we're going to get it through, you know?
Yes.
I do want, because I'm in Chattanooga, and if you haven't seen the national news, we've had two mass shootings in the last couple of weeks. The last one happened last night, and three young people were killed. So for for those families and those other nine people who are in the hospital or being had to be treated medically, I just want to send out prayers. Keep us in your prayers. Some kids were injured in the last one, that I think was 10 were injured. And I don't remember whether any died then or not, but I do know at least three died this morning.
Mm.
So please keep us in your prayers.
Always.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And now it's time for me to close out. So you have just listened to the Business Plugs Mixer here on Facebook, LinkedIn, and on YouTube. And it will be posted to the Business Plugs Mixer on Spotify. Follow Sharon according to the links that are in the description, and let her know you heard it here. If you're interested in that conference, let me know how it goes, because if I'm not there, I want you to reach back to me and tell me how you enjoyed it. I promise you, it is going to be a life changing experience. So if you're a female and you're looking for a life changing experience, go ahead and connect with Sharon so she can help you.
Right. And we do have a call for speakers right now as well as sponsors. So,
Ah, so if you are a public speaker and you have something that would fit into this agenda, then reach out to Sharon. That's another reason to reach out. So reach out to Sharon and see if what your topic is one that would be of interest to this event or any future events. So yeah,
exactly.
that's always a good thing. I love it. I love it. I love it. So thank you, Sharon. Any parting words for our guest, for our audience?
Um, I always love quotes, and I didn't come prepared with one that I looked up, but my favorite one, which I will share because it is my business name, and that's nothing is impossible. The
Mm.
word itself says, I'm possible.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I was trying to think of who did that. And
Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn. I was
I'm
thinking
like,
I was thinking
I am
Tiffany's.
a
I was thinking
Audrey
she was in
Hepburn
Tiffany's.
fanatic. Like anything Audrey Hepburn,
I
it's
love
like,
her. I
oh
love
my
her.
God. It's like everything. When I did the Flower and Garden show, it was Breakfast and Tiffany's.
Jefferson
Evelyn.
Tiffany's. Absolutely. I, I
Mhm.
I couldn't remember her name because you have
Yeah,
color brain. I couldn't remember her name, but I do remember she was in Breakfast at
yeah,
Tiffany's.
yeah.
I'll always remember that. But thank you, thank you, thank you. And so catch up with us next week here, wherever you are. Go ahead and like and subscribe so you get the notification when we're on. We'll see you next Sunday here at the Business Plugs Mixer. Until we meet again, let's have a great week. Bye, everyone.